Welcome back to another video, and I'm glad to have you guys all back. Glad you guys choose to tune into the channel and listen to me talk and listen to me give my perspective on things. And today I want to give you guys a little bit of perspective on what I'm doing with my money in this crisis, in this crash. Before you go, I want to tune you into your favorite radio station, WIIFM, or What's in it for me? Or in other words, what value is this video about to provide? The value that I want to provide in this video is that, yes, I'm not a guru, I'm not a millionaire, tax professional, mogul of real estate, things of that nature, but I want to provide you guys some value of a normal guy and what I'm doing with my money in this situation. What am I doing with my money in this crash? What can normal people do with their money right now if they're not a celebrity, if they don't have a huge social media following, if they don't have a massive income, if they don't have a lot of savings saved up? Not a lot of people are in the position where they can invest their money right now. They can't buy stocks because they need the cash. A lot of people find themselves in situations that are not relatable to these richer people out there, these richer YouTubers. And I kind of start to see it in myself where, if I'm in a much better financial position than someone else, I can't really relate with what's going on in their world until they really sit me down and talk to me and tell me what's going on in their world. So hopefully you guys get some value out of this. Today's topics is now a great time to buy real estate, what I'm doing with my debt and my 401k contributions and exactly why I'm doing that, and some new sources of income that I plan on opening up. And the last thing that I'm going to be doing with my money is getting some free money. So if you guys want to get some free money down below, I'll pin a comment down with my links. If you want to go there, you can get some free money from these brokerage accounts or from these credit card companies. If you sign up with my link, I will be compensated, just full disclosure there. But if you do want to get some free money, I have brought in some free money myself using those opportunities, but that could be a big help while we wait for these stimulus checks. And a note on the stimulus checks, if I were you, obviously I'm not giving you advice, but this is what I'm doing. What I'm doing is I'm pretending that the government basically just doesn't exist. I'm pretending that it's pretty much shot. The programs aren't going to happen. So what would I do if that $1,200 did not come in the mail? What would I do if Congress goes in on Monday and just nothing happens? I'm pretending as if they don't exist. I'm pretending as if new debt doesn't exist. I'm pretending as if my job, if I lose it, it's not coming back. What do I do in that situation? What do I do if I'm someone who lost their job and it's not coming back? Those are the scenarios that I've got playing through my head. So anyways, let's go ahead and get right into this. So thing number one that I'm doing with my money is getting my credit score up. So the reason why I'm getting my credit score up is because I may want to refinance this house or I may want to hop on to buying another house. Which brings up the question, how is the real estate market? And generally speaking, I'm not going to go super deep into how the real estate market is doing, but generally speaking, prices are driven by supply and demand. Right now, supply is going down. People are deciding to not sell their houses, but also demand is going down because people don't have money to buy said houses. So it's a little bit unsteady what's happening in the real estate market, whether prices will stabilize or go down or go up. A lot of real estate agents that I talk to say that they're still able to sell houses. Business has been generally unimpacted. So obviously, if things continue to go the way that they're going, something is going to shift in the economy. GDP is going down. It's supposed to go down much more next quarter. So we'll have to wait and see as far as what people are going to be doing with their real estate purchases. But one tip that I did give a friend recently that I want to give on this video is that you should program your statement dates into your calendar. Your statement date, that's basically when the bill is generated for your credit card. If you pay your debt off before the statement is generated, it will always register 0. So your utilization will be 0. And that helps your credit score. It helps your credit score a lot. So that's one thing that I'm doing with my money is getting my credit score down, programming in those statement dates into my calendar so that I always have a 0 balance. I've only been writing about a 1 or 2%, which you need it under 10%, but getting those statement dates in your calendar, your phone is a lot better at remembering what the date is than you are. If you don't know what your statement dates are, contact your credit card provider and you can ask them, what is my statement date? And then just plug all those in for all of your credit cards. On the refinancing side of the house, I am considering refinancing my debt because if I can put enough into this house, I've calculated if I put down $120,000 and got my interest rate down to 3%, I could actually live here with a roommate for free. So that is an awesome opportunity. I'm looking to potentially do that, but I would have to make a lot of money between now and when the interest rates go up, which recently they've actually just come out and said that interest rates are going to be low for a while. So there's not too much of a rush, but I would say if you can refinance right now and it makes sense to, if you can get your rate down by a significant amount, say half, 1%, then I would consider refinancing right now. Consider doing that with your money. And a quick note on credit cards, now is a good time to do balance transfers. If you want to transfer that onto a new card, which will increase your credit limit, which will ultimately, in the long run, increase your credit score, and it'll decrease the amount of interest that you're paying. that was a mouthful, but basically interest rate will go down on the debt that you're paying. In addition, your credit limit will go up. Now is a good time to consider doing that. Once again, if you want to hit my links in the description, you could sign up for one of those. Right now, the Discover It card is actually offering 5% back on gas. So unless you have a Costco card, or if you have like the Duck card or something like that, where you can get 4% back at Costco. Costco is usually cheaper gas, or 5% back on the Duck card, which that's a pretty cool card. I'll consider getting that in the future. I actually just heard about that card from a channel called Jake Bro. Go check him out if you guys get a chance. Great credit card channel, and you'll learn how to save some money, make some money. Shout out to Jake Bro if you're watching this video. All right, number 2, I haven't quite done it yet, but next week I am going to pay off that sweet student debt. Oh my goodness, as a millennial, this feels so good. When I get paid next week, I am going to have no more student debt, no more debt besides my house, and it's going to feel great. It's going to feel amazing. I want to celebrate that with you guys, with maybe one of those kid yay sound effects right here. I don't know. Maybe it feels really good. It feels great, guys. But what do I do with that? Am I gonna just take that money and I'm gonna put it into consumer expenses? Of course not. I'm gonna put myself in a uncomfortable financial position. So what I'm doing is I'm taking my contributions, my 401k, taking all that money that I used to spend on debt, and I'm just gonna bump my 401k up to 30%. Now, a lot of you guys are like, whoa, Casey, that's a lot. 30%, why would you do that? And that's because I have a lot of income outside of my earned income. And I was actually just recently reading this book right here, which I don't know if you guys can see that right here. Millionaire Next Door. Talks about basically how do millionaires become millionaires. So, I mean, it's like, it kind of blew my mind the first time I read it, just reread it. And one of the things that it cited in there was that a lot of millionaires, they don't pay taxes. So once I go into actually having a business, there will be ways for me to deduct my taxes. But as far as my earned income, the only way for me to pay less in taxes on that is to use the tax advantaged accounts and basically not realize that income. So as long as I am working as an employee, I do want to reduce that as much as possible. And just because I'm putting 30% of my earned income into a tax advantaged account doesn't mean I'm putting 30% of my total income. It's probably something more like 17 or 18%, because I do also work for the Army. I also work on my own projects on the side. So my earned income is probably about 60 to 50% of my income total. So putting 30% in there is really like putting 15% of my total in there. And I cannot endorse this book enough. Millionaire Next Door. I just want to put it up there one more time because this book really changed my life. It's an instruction manual to how to become a millionaire. I mean, you don't become a millionaire by accident. And these people were very deliberate about what they did. And it even goes into some people that were millionaires that got there just by brute forcing it, by having really bad spending habits. They also went into some people that have really high incomes and they look like millionaires. Like, what does a millionaire look like? That was a really interesting question that they answered in there. They talk about how millionaires never stretch themselves financially. So if they're living in a neighborhood with, $400,000 or $500,000 houses, they're probably the richest person in that neighborhood. Their neighbors are usually the broke ones that are paying up 50, 60, even more percentage of their income to live in this high status lifestyle. Whereas the millionaire is putting about 20, 30% of their money into this mortgage. Anyways, that was a very formative book for me as far as the whole concept of just trying to be rich instead of trying to act rich and trying to look rich. Rather have a bunch of money in the bank than have a nice suit and a nice watch and a nice this, that, car, whatever. It's better to just actually be rich and be secure, and your bed just feels so much better when you know that you have a big old savings account. So anyways, let's move into the next one that I'm doing. The third and last thing that I want to talk to you guys about is I'm reopening old sources of income and opening up new sources of income. So the reason why I'm doing this is because they're talking about furlough at my job. I'm sure they're talking about furlough at many of your jobs out there for us normal people. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if the job's going to get cut off. I don't know if the military is going to get shut down. I don't know what part of my income is going to get shut off. So I'm reopening up Uber. I'm looking back into focus groups. And a new thing that I'm looking into is being a secret shopper. And what a secret shopper is basically you're like a food critic. You go there, you check out the experience. I actually saw this on the Graham Stephan show. There's a guy on there, his name was Todd. I actually reached out to him, which was really cool. He reached back out to me and he told me how to do this. So now I am telling you guys how to do this. I'm going to link to his channel. His channel is going to be very successful. He's a very successful guy, fellow Seattleite. So it is very simple. It took me about 5 minutes to sign up. As far as signing up for Uber, your car has to be less than 10 years old. So you got to have a car that's less than 10 years old. Ideally, you have a car that's in working condition. I mean, something that's going to get you from point A to point B, something that's going to be safe for the customers. And you have to do a vehicle inspection, and I'm going to show a little scroll of all the other things that you have to do. I'm not going to insult your intelligence with all the, minutia here, because it's not that hard. Basically, you have to be legal to drive. You got to have a driver's license. You got to have a vehicle registration. You got to have a business license, which figuring out how to do all that stuff, this would be a long video, so I'm not going to get into that. But I'm signing back up for Uber because I don't know where the next check is coming from. It might be coming from my job. My job might furlough me, and then what am I going to do now? Am I going to just hope that the government gives me money? I'm not going to sit around and hope. And I don't want to get into a controversial debate with people in the comments section about, oh, you should be staying inside. There's ways that you can stay inside without hoping that the government gives you money. There's a lot of people making a lot of money without leaving their house. So I'm gonna go figure out how I can do that. So anyways, yeah, people need food delivered. People need themselves delivered in this quarantine. So mask up and Uber up if you have to. I mean, if you absolutely have to support yourself, by all means, support your family. Focusgroups.com, I've talked about this one before, but it's basically surveys. There's ones like the one that I just signed up for. There was one that's, are you an iPhone user? Can we ask you some questions? Then they send you money. Or, does this situation apply to you? Do you work in healthcare? I'm like, yes, I do work in healthcare. Okay, well, you're gonna take this survey, and then we're gonna ask you about all these products, and then they basically just send you money. So that's a really good one. I just actually signed up for about 5 of them. They were all $100 each, so that could potentially be, anywhere between $200 to $500 coming in. That if I do lose my job, well, you know what? Now I've got $200 to $500 coming in to supplement. And yeah, that's pretty much all I'm doing with my money. I'm also reading a lot of books about money, so if you guys want any book recommendations, please do hit me up on Instagram. So if you guys want to do that out there, I think now's a good time while we have all of this time to learn about money, to learn about business, and to learn about how we can pursue our goals. So anyways, hopefully you guys liked this video. If you did, make sure you give it a like, hit those links down below if you want to support the channel and support yourself at the same time. And I love you guys all. We should be hitting 2,000 soon, fingers crossed. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one.